have an account set up in Kit, you need to make sure it's configured properly so that you have as a successful email marketing system as you can have. So these are all basic settings, nothing difficult in here. If you navigate to the top right corner, under where your name is, the business name, you'll see settings. Get into settings and you'll be shown this page here. Now down the left hand side there's a number of options here. I'm not going to go through them all. I'll go through the basic ones that you need to make sure you've got set up properly. So starting with the login details, this is essentially just for your benefit. This image here only gets seen by you. It's not associated with your email, and neither is your name or your email address. That's purely just to access the system. One thing I would recommend you do is set up multi-factor authentication. This is a way of protecting or enhancing the security of your Kit account. So in essence, if you set up multi-factor authentication, every time you log in you'll be challenged for a secondary way of proving that it's you logging in. This is normally done in one of two ways, either using an authenticator app. The one I use is the Google Authenticator. It's free, you can download it onto your phone, and it essentially creates a unique 6-digit code every time you log in. And the other option you have is through simple SMS messaging. So you can have the same 6-digit code sent to your phone via SMS. So it's entirely up to you which one you go with, but my recommendation is you set one of these up to secure your account. Under general settings, this up here at the top where it says business name is essentially what people will see whenever your business name is referenced in any of the Kit assets. So for example, as you can see here, the example they're giving is the unsubscribe page. So it will mention whatever you've got in here on your unsubscribe page so that people know what they're unsubscribing from. So I would make sure that's meaningful in there, whatever that is. It can be whatever you want it to be, but just make it consistent with either your business or your brand or your product, or even your own personal name. Make sure it's relevant and people will recognize it when they see it. You don't need to do this, but it's convenient. If you do, you can select the swatch of colours that you're going to use on a regular basis. So if you have brand colours for your business, you can essentially get the hex codes, put them in there. So let's say I've got a hex value of that, and whatever that may be, I'll click and save it. And it means that when I'm, let's say, inserting a button into an email, I can make that button the colour I want to make it, taken from the colour swatch. So you can do that if you want. Next one, under email settings. This is where all the key stuff resides inside Kit. So your from email address. This is important that you get a confirmed from email address set up inside your Kit. Now this is just a demo account that I have. This is not my main account. But you can see here I've got a from address. At any one time you can only have one default from address. However, you can add more if you want to. So let's say you're, for example, had 2 businesses or 2 brands, two products that you wanted to run from the same Kit account. You can do that, but you need to have multiple from addresses. So you can click that button to add another one. Kit will then send an email to that email address, and if you click on the link inside that email, that will become a confirmed email address inside your Kit account. But like I say, you can only have one confirmed as the default at any one time. The next thing, arguably the most important part of your Kit configuration, is having what's known as a verified sending domain. Now, there was changes brought in recently by Yahoo and Google that makes it more difficult for email marketers to spam people, because they've sort of raised the bar and said these are the minimum requirements if you want to send email to our clients. I won't get into the technical details of it, but essentially you need to have your email sending domain authenticated in 3 ways: something called SPF, something called DKIM, and something called DMARC. As I say, you don't need to know the technical details behind that. All you need to know is that you need to have a verified sending domain. Now, fortunately, Kit makes it very, very simple to do. All you need to do is add your verified sending domain. So let's say I'm going to add another one in here. Let's say Kit Mastery. That's another one I have. Another domain I own. All I do is enter in and then click next. And then Kit gives me these 3 records. Okay, again, don't worry about technically what they're doing and what they're saying. But essentially, Kit is asking me to have these 3 records inserted into what's known as my DNS records. So everyone who owns a domain, that's the, if you've got a website, mine is provenflows.com. Provenflows.com is my sending domain, and I would need to insert these records into my DNS records. Now, like I say, Kit makes this simple because they do it for us. We don't need to do it. This button set it up for me. It pops up with this little tool that just says, please insert your login credentials for your domain host. So a domain host is a company, typically like it's going to be GoDaddy or Ionos or Hostinger, one of these companies who will host your domain for you, and you'll pay an ongoing fee for that. And then what Kit's going to do here is it's going to ask us to provide our login credentials to our host. Kit will then log in, insert those 3 records for us, and then that's the verified sending domain set up for us. So I'll click continue. It's going away and it's trying to figure out who is the provider. In this case, it's Hostinger for mine. And now I need to provide the login credentials for Hostinger. So I've added in my login credentials, and now I'm going to click continue. It goes away and it checks to see if those credentials will allow it to access my DNS records inside Hostinger. If it does, it will go and insert them, and then it will come back and give me a success message to say that's been done. And when I go back to Kit, I should now see that as a verified sending domain. Okay, so it's now come back and said Kit Mastery is now configured. Okay, so click done, and now when I go back to Kit, I can see in here it says at the bottom right, validating. So it's now checking to make sure those records have been updated properly, and if it has, we should see that green tick appear on the top left corner just to replace that warning sign there. And there we go, we got the green tick. So that is now an additional verified sending domain that I have in this account. So you can have multiple in there if you want. And again, if I wanted to send emails from that, I might want to set up another. So I could say John, let's say at Kit Mastery. And then in here I would have John at kitmastery.com, and then add email. Now you'll see when it's added, it's pending because it's now sent me an email asking me to confirm my email address. And if I just go across to my email, I should have an email that's arrived. So this is the email that's just popped into my inbox. So you can see there, verify your email address with Kit, and then click that button to verify it. So I'm now going to click that button, and it should now change from pending to confirmed. So there you go, you can see it's now confirmed. So now when I'm sending an email, I can choose to send either from that email address there, or that one there. Just to show you that in action, I can quickly create a broadcast email. New broadcast. I'll click this temporary, this text only one, and in here I'll just type, test email, and then click continue. And I'm going to click send email. Now down here what you can see is I've got a from address. So in this drop down list, the default one, by default from address will be listed there automatically, but if I wanted to, I could change that and say no, send it from the John at Kit Mastery email address. So I've got that flexibility. to do that in there. Okay, so that's us covered the verified sending domain and the from address. So next thing we're looking at is the default time zone and sending times. So this doesn't matter too much, but it's good practice to set it up so that it's most meaningful for where the bulk of your subscribers reside. So my subscribers tend to be in the UK, so mine is based on a UK time slot. If you are in Pacific time or Eastern time or European time, obviously you could change that and pick whichever one makes most sense to you. The bit at the bottom here, again, this is a legal requirement. You need this in your email. Every email you send is your mailing address. Now, if you don't want to share your physical address, which could compromise your privacy, then what you are able to do is use Kit's courtesy email mailing address. Sorry, courtesy mailing address, not email, which is this one here. So by default, that's what's that's what's in your mailing address, and that's what will appear in the bottom of your emails. And providing you're willing to comply with Kit's conditions around the use of that address, then you can use that and then protect, secure your own privacy around data when it comes to your address. Down at the bottom, if you do have or could have potentially subscribers who are coming from a geography or a territory that has GDPR compliance stipulations, then you really want to set this down here, and you've got three options. Don't show them to anyone, show them to everyone, or only show them to subscribers currently in the UK, EU or Switzerland, which are the main territories that are GDPR compliant. So it will depend on your personal circumstances which one of those you choose. And that is pretty much it when it comes to setting up your account. If you've done that, then you will be in good shape to send emails to your list and increase your chances of not landing in their spam folders, because you have become compliant with setting up your verified sending domain. So that's it. That's all you need to do to set up your Kit account. Those are the things that are likely to potentially impact your ability to have your emails landing in your subscribers' inboxes. But providing you do what I've just shown you, you'll be in good shape to go. So hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.